Hello everyone. You may have noticed I've been releasing some of my really old projects back from high school. They're just usually a bunch of dumb meme games, but I thought everyone at the time treasured them and thought they were funny, so I thought I'd release them to the public after rediscovering them. But there was one in particular. I used to make these little mini-series called the Lame Games, which was basically troll unbeatable games where it looks like you can complete them further, and then you couldn't. But then, midway through, I kind of just started killing the player just at the end, just because I couldn't figure out a way to, end it. And that's kind of where that last week of bullshit game came from as well. So I made this, at the time, I was making this one where you could actually download new lame games as it was being created using like this, import MFA feature that was in Multimedia Fusion at the time, but I couldn't get it working, so that's why there's like this assets folder where you have like the pictures, but the end product actually ended up just including them in the file. And I would release this one as is, however, unfortunately, I used my real name in there. The other problem is I don't have Multimedia Fusion 2 installed anymore, and getting it installed is a massive pain in the ass today. But what I do have is ClickTeam Fusion, which is like the up-to-date one that Five Nights at Freddy's was made and yada yada. And that one has so many more better features, like you have direct 3D support, making it 60 frames. In fact, you can actually just run it in 60 frames. The other one was limited by 50 frames, I remember. And you can also do aspect ratio correction now. So the original one is kind of obsolete. I've actually opened the original project file, redone it in ClickTeam Fusion, changed it to 60 FPS. There was a bunch of compatibility issues in certain other games within it. And I remember even at the time, I had to like clone the frame of the game, like the same level, so duplicate the level, and then make it skip to the next level just to prevent a bug that was happening or something. It was just very janky. I didn't know what was wrong with it at the time in 2011, but I managed to, find out the problem. But I've cleaned it all up, even added some new graphics, and let's go through it. So you get this like shitty Wii channel like selection thing, but yeah, I've changed the text where I had my name into just ClickTeam Fusion Enhanced version. But let's go through some games. Alright, so this one was the first lame game, I guess you could say, like the first one I started calling it a lame game. But this was the original warning of the game as well. It's the exact version, nothing has changed. You get like this little world map, as if there's going to be like multiple levels, but there never was. It's just illusion. Get this stupid thing. Hello, I need help because I've seen something that's been spooking everyone. And there comes that something. Alright. So now we're just kind of running for no apparent reason. We're gonna dodge the heads, but no matter what you do, you just cannot dodge the second one. So it just keeps going. There's just no way to complete it. But like, I remember handing this out to someone and saying like, "Hey, can you beat this level?" It's like, I've done it before. It's really hard. And he was like, "Oh yeah." You often die on like the first one. And then when he started to master actually dodging the second, or trying to dodge the second one, he just couldn't do it because he can't. And even if you could manage to do it anyway, I think it just loops back to the first animation or path. So it doesn't matter. That game is unwinnable. So then we got this one. And around this point, where you see the John Romero and this sort of thing, was when I discovered Doom source ports and the UAC Military Nightmare mod, which was my first mod for Doom I got. So, yeah. Get this thing. To win, you must play. Level 1. Press spacebar to jump. Use the arrow keys to move. Now, I have added some extra effects, like the level 1 is now in this version, and you will see a little new effect. So now we're suddenly on level 30. Now in the original game it never said if you were in level 1 and it didn't do that little corruption effect, but yeah, just a little, I guess you could say this is the director's cut of the Lame Collector's Edition. And you get this classic dead screen. And I remember one time on my school laptop back in the day, when I was playing this and playtesting it, the tech guys downstairs took a screenshot of this on their computer, and then I ended up setting their screenshot of myself as my wallpaper. So I thought I was very proud of them. Anyway. Then we got this fucking dog shit game. It was supposed to be like a shitty horror game. Like, I didn't even give any fucking thought to the sprite. I just kind of resized it and then half-assed it. But anyway. There we go. Oh shit. Can't do anything, by the way, never goes away. Yep. And the same kind of death screen. Oh yeah, and on the original, these little 3D things, they were going insanely fast, like almost enough to cause a seizure, so I've slowed them down on this one. I think it looks much better anyway, it kind of looks like he's walking now. Anyway, then we got the quest game. Now, believe it or not, I've actually got 4 variants of this quest game now. The original 2 that I made on like a lost hard drive, which I have got. I've only got the compiled versions of the game, just not the file I can edit. And then I've got this version, which is the 3rd iteration, and then I've got the competition one, which is actually a playable game of some kind on Game Jolt. But this is the original. Or, like, remade original. The Amazing Quest. So this is meant to be a bit of a parody of King's Quest. You've even got the same sort of hat. But in this one, you can actually walk around. In the original game, he would just teleport. And I think in the 4th iteration on Game Jolt, he'd just teleport as well. Yeah, so you got this gate. You gotta get the key. The key to the gate's in there. Alright, here we go. You got the door to lead back out of the same area. You know, he just goes back to the overworld screen. Anyway, let's go pick up the key. You found a key! Uh-oh, somebody's coming. Alright, so you can't get the key because you gotta wait till he's gone. Alright, fair enough. Okay, you locked it and used the key, but like, you can kind of see where this is going. He doesn't ever go away, by the way. That last bit at the end, I remember that was completely unintentional in this Lame Collector's Edition back in the day. But it was so funny that I just left it in. Anyway, then we got this one. Now, this one I was actually trying to make a proper game in or some kind, but I was having so many problems with it, particularly with multimedia fusion glitching out and just breaking the game logic. And then I ended up trying to put what I had left into this collector's edition, since it was unbeatable anyway, and it was like a prototype. But then it was having problems unless I duplicated the frame, and then, you know, it just became a mess. But I've just fixed everything and cleaned it all up in this version of the game. I've also added some new things. This one's actually like a little platform. Now in the original version, it had this insufferably loud, like, fire sound. And I've actually changed it to the one I use in the MP40 on the Genocide engine now. You know, just a little director's cut feature, I guess. Yeah, platforming's also terrible, but that's just the platform movement in Fusion. There you go. So shit. You got this giant epic face. Now, you can only hurt him when he's got his force field off, and it only comes off when he starts shooting guys. But yeah, the little green particles and the little force field that's around them are actually new to this little director's cut build, I guess you could say, the 2022. There was no feedback on the original. And the original also had this annoying bug where he would freeze into that little, I don't know, W face. And when he froze into that face, like, you couldn't actually damage him anymore, and it just froze. So there was two ways to game break. The game would just fuck up on you normally, or you could just beat him and it would just be unwinnable anyway. Yeah. There you go. And that's how you die. Because I couldn't figure out a way to just troll the game. So that's like the one exception. But yeah, so that one's not really a lame game. It's just kind of like a prototype game I threw in there at the time. But now it's kind of a bit more playable, a bit more tolerable. But it's still not complete, and I won't be completing it, obviously. Anyway, but then we got the classic, the one that I just made a video on. Week of bullshit. Now this one is slightly better than the one in the last upload on Game Jolt. It has an extra slime. It's 60 frames now. Whoop. On top of that, there's some spikes past the spider. And no, they're not coded to do anything because you can't get past the spider. There's just no way. It's just... There's the spike, but yeah, this is... In charging him. No. You're not going anywhere. And in the original collector's edition of this thing, I couldn't actually get A Week of Bullshit to look pixelated like it did on the title screen or like the original game. It was scaling weird, so I actually doubled the resolution, and then it had this large empty room that just had really high windows. It didn't look good, but I've actually repaired it into this director's cut build, I guess, to make it exactly like the original, you know, epic release. But yeah, I'm gonna be putting these on Game Jolt because, you know, why not? Just have a bit of fun. But yeah. It's also compressed a lot more than the original. The original one was 63 meg and now it's 22. So good on you, Click Team. Alrighty, I'll see you around.